My name's Sinclair. I spent 16 years in prison. I ain't proud of it, but it is what it is.
Yoga, fire!
Now that I'm free, I thought it'd be cool if I brought some of my friends, associates, and people I met along the way to come and tell you their story. Let you hear what they went through, what they saw, the good, the bad, the ugly. Just so you understand what happens on our show, we do film in front of a live audience. If you hear someone talking, don't be scared of it. It's supposed to happen. We're just gonna have a casual conversation on camera. We're not here to tell anybody who they should or shouldn't be. We just want to give you the truth from behind the bars. We just came here to have some fun, talk to people, hear what they got to say. This is the prisoner's opinion. Hit us in the comments. Tell us what you think. Blessings. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Prisoner's Opinion. I am so excited today. Today is a day I've been waiting for a long time to give you a completely different perspective. Today we have with us two ex-prison officers and we're going to hear their stories and hear their opinions. I hope you enjoy. I hope you appreciate what we're doing over here. So first of all, can you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, my name's Bianca.
And how old are you, Bianca?
28.
Look at this whole piece of, who's that? Oh my days, Nelson Fleet. Shit, check it. God damn it! Oh shit!
Nah, man.
Ankle bracelet. What?
And to the left of me?
Ree, and I'm 27.
Perfect. Okay, so let's get straight into it.
Got a little one.
Oh, we should say we've got Bianca's baby boy with us, beautiful little boy with us. He's also going to be interviewing today, so if you hear him making noise, he's just asking a question, try and interpret it the best you can, and we'll figure it out. So, first things first, the question that everybody always wants to ask, especially a female prison officer, prisoners, and I think people outside, what in the fuck made you not want to work in the prison?
This is the most common question. I grew up in the hood, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And the route that I saw everyone else going down, I didn't want to go down that route, first and foremost.
Yeah.
So it was a situation, it was either you work with them or you work against them. And I tried to be smart, so I kind of tried to work with them, if that makes sense, without getting caught up in that life and ending up inside.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted to know why, I don't judge no one, so I kind of wanted to know why certain people do what they do and what their thought process was. And if there was something that I could possibly change, then yeah, so be it. So that's why.
So without jumping too far forward and kind of telling your story too early, did you have either people in your past, say for example your father, cousins, brother, someone you're close to that was quite heavily involved in crime and went to prison? Because I personally find that I come into contact with a lot of probation officers. I've got two ex-girlfriends that are probation officers, and a lot of people who go down the probation route, for example, and they usually lead down there, and when they're telling me why they did it, it's usually something very similar to what you just said.
I mean, I had my uncle that was involved in and out. My cousin a couple times, but it was more so the friends that was around me at the time. Like, I grew up with a lot of males, and a lot of them were literally in and out. So yeah. So
did you feel like you wanted to make a difference, or were you just intrigued by the whole environment of it?
I feel like I was intrigued to know. I did want to make a difference at the same time, but it was how, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I was definitely intrigued.
What about yourself?
Me, I was already I would say kind of involved in jobs that were dealing with people that were being detained or incarcerated. Before being in the prison service, I was doing immigration, and then one day I had to go to Wandsworth, and I was like, I could do this.
So you had to go to Wandsworth prison on behalf of your job?
Yeah, because immigration, because sometimes you have to pick up from or take to the prisons, isn't it? I was going in and out of prisons through that route. I was always intrigued, but I'm a people's person, so I thought this job will kind of be good for me. I could get to talk to them, see their point of view, possibly like be the one person that their jail time they could be like, you know what, Ree was actually cool and Ree said yeah. I did have people around me in and out of jail, or they have gone to jail, whatever. Those, to be honest, my dad, brothers, friends. I never really understood it. Like, I didn't understand why literally everyone I knew had to go to jail. That's how I saw it. It's like, right, literally everyone I know was going to jail.
And then you went to jail.
No, not like that.
You just did it differently though.
Not like that,
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so I was living quite far away. So when I came back to like London, I needed a job that was gonna pay good money as well. I'm not being funny. The government, they're where the money is, isn't it? Like unless like you're trained in something, like you're a doctor, or even they don't get a certain amount of money sometimes.
That's quite interesting, because I've always heard that the prison officer's money is really bad.
It's not. It's not that bad as in like how they make it sound.
Yeah.
She worked in a HMP jail. I worked in a private jail.
Oh, the private jails are spending bread.
Yeah, no, they're not.
London jails are more.
No, they're rude.
Yeah, private jails, they don't pay as much as HMP
little
jails.
man disagrees.
No, they don't pay as much as HMP. It's not bad, but it's not as much as HMP is. Now that obviously it's changing, but it's not shit.
It's not what people think it is.
Yeah,
Trust me.
It's not what people think it is. And London jails, they pay more than like outskirts jails. So
why do you think that is? Do you think it's because the violence is much higher, or just because of the living wage, or?
I
think it's definitely living wage probably. I wouldn't say that, because I think every jail, violence is violence, regardless of what it is. If it's down there or up there, it's definitely the living. I feel like.
Yeah, because even normal jobs, they have a lot of normal London jobs. They're higher in comparison. Like if you went outside of London, you're not getting the same
because of the rent and that, etc. Are you comfortable telling me what the wage was of a prison officer?
I don't mind. Well,
it's on the website.
It's on the website now.
I don't mind.
I think mine was like 31 a year. But what drew me, if I'm honest with you, is their overtime.
Yeah, and it goes up every year. Their
overtime was like £22 an hour.
Okay.
Because it's time and a half.
And you can work as much overtime as you want?
Work where you want. Bed watches, you can work in where you're sitting down literally like a weekend, work legit money, 6 bills for 2 days.
You can start half your day there,
Yeah.
so you can do like, say you started work at 6 till 2, you can just extend your day, that's overtime. That's
overtime.
So easy.
It's calm.
I remember always hearing them on the radios asking if anybody wants to work another shift.
That was me. I'm there. What wing? Yeah, that was me.
I'm there. What day? It doesn't matter. I'm even checking my diary. I'm there.
But I actually, were you a prison officer a long time? Just how many years, if we just segment that?
Just over a year.
Just over a year. What about yourself?
A year and a half, 2 max.
That's quite interesting, because I must have like a false impression, because I know there's a time when the wages were quite good and then they changed all the contracts. Remember when they started to freeze government
They did do that.
government pay, whatever you want to call it, and then I heard that they pushed a lot of people out and weren't paying well, but you're saying it's kind of gone back to
they started higher
money.
Now it's even better. Now it's higher.
Now it's higher. Yeah,
Wow.
it's higher now. Because of what's going on, it's definitely higher.
Okay. So what age did you become a prison officer?
Was I like 23, 24, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, quite young actually.
Had you done any jobs before that?
Security jobs, bar work, all of that, football grounds. But yeah, that was my main proper, government job, I would say.
And yourself?
I was trying to calculate it.
Roughly approximately.
When I was on immigration, I think I was like
the same age as me, probably.
23, and then I went into the job and I was like 24. Yeah, I turned 25. Yeah, so 24, 25.
So I kind of really want to get a feel, because as a prisoner, obviously I spent quite a long time in prison. I'm quite desensitized towards going to prison and that kind of environment. But what is it like as you, a civilian, for the first time walking into a prison?
Oh gosh. When I first ever stepped onto the wing, like I think it was just like to just look at the jail.
Yeah.
All the heads turned, and it made me feel like, oh my gosh, it's just real. Like name calling from here. Who's that? Just from everywhere, and it made you feel proper like, oh my gosh, is it really happening? you have to put on a brave face because you don't want them to think that, you're a newbie.
You do the screw face thing that
yeah.
you see with the little
Yeah,
newbies. It's so
fresh
funny.
meat,
Yeah, you see the newbie thing trying to do the screw face that
and
we
then
don't
I
know
had
better.
someone say to me, Miss, what jail have you come from? I said,
Yeah.
what makes you think I've come from another jail? Like, just because the way you stand and the way you are, it was an act. Because I've never been from another jail. But I was like, yeah. But it was a good experience. It was different. It was different.
That was actually my favourite job, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Out of everything that I've done, that was my favourite job. When I first went in there, I weren't like, oh my gosh, because like I said, I was doing immigration, so I was already around people that was like, either already involved in stuff, like I was really around all of that danger around people doing mad stuff. But fucking hell, they give you a run for your money. When I walked onto that, you see my first shift, someone told me to suck my mum. I didn't know what to do. I was like, shit, am I gonna get fired today? What's gonna happen? And it's just like,
Like, you told me, are you allowed to talk me through that situation?
yeah.
I was like, because it's quite interesting, isn't it? Like, your first day of work.
Do you know what my first?
And we were saying earlier that in black culture, the word "suck your mum" for some reason is like
It's like a big
red flag to a bull.
Right, and you know what? Like, that was one of the
It's like an Arab phone a slipper or something. Like, that's the one thing that's gonna set it off in here.
That was the most like worst comments that I always used to get, like in the beginning anyway, or when someone didn't know me, or when they were new in the jail and they had to like pattern up because everyone else would tell them, "Oh, she's cool." But that particular day, I was like, I'm not a dickhead, so how am I gonna deal with this? And then like I just remember he was just like, I bet you come from somewhere like Tesco or something. I'm like, why? I was like, why is this happening? Like, nothing's even happened, you know. I can't remember why he even went that mad. But he was just angry. He just, you know, some prisoners, they just don't fuck with girls, innit? And that was the energy he was coming with. So I understand, innit?
So had you gone to, like, do you remember how it led to it? Like, had you gone to go do something? Have you gone to give him something?
Told him. I think he asked me to do something and I just said 1 minute. But I think he didn't like the way I said it.
Yeah.
So he was like, you see what I mean, man? And I was like, what are you talking about? I just said to wait. And he's like, suck your mum. And I was just like, okay, cool. I was like, because you know if he was on road, you wouldn't do that. It wouldn't be that because it would be something else. He's like, what? And then now that
so you turn a bit gang as well.
Yeah, so now that he's hearing gang come out my mouth.
You went gang as well.
Now he's hearing that, he's thinking, bro, okay, this girl's rude, But because I had already built some rapport with the other prisoners, they were like, nah, she's calm. He's like, I don't care that she thinks she's doing it. So like, do you know what, you're gonna ask me for toilet roll, you better not come and ask me for no toilet. Don't ask me. And wash. Use your hands.
When the doors are locked, you need something.
Check my spend.
So I said, you know what, toilet roll. And do you know what? That afternoon, the same it was God because it was just me and another girl from London, and the other girl was busy. I was floating, and he's come to me and like, miss, I need toilet roll. I said, you're not talking to me, brother. You're not talking to me. I'm not getting you toilet roll. He's like, right, you're gonna be petty like that. I'm like, yeah, I didn't disrespect you.
Facts.
And you disrespected me. And you obviously took the piss in it for no reason. So now I told you anyway. And then he was like, whatever. And I didn't get him the toilet roll. And then
you didn't get it for him?
No, I didn't get it for him. And then the other guy, he went back downstairs. The other guy was on the door. He can't leave, innit? So he's just like, no, like you have to wait. He must have needed to shit back because he came back up and apologized to me.
That's all you wanted, an apology, innit?
Yeah, and then was like, do you know what? Because he spoke to another prisoner as well. So after they had their little one away, he's come back and apologized and said, whatever his reasons were. I was like, yeah, but just don't do that again, innit? Because
so he learned his lesson on how to deal with you that day.
Yeah, and then he got his double toilet roll. Shit in the piss.
I ain't gonna lie though, when you ain't got no toilet roll.
It's peak. That's why I said toilet roll in specific, because I know.
The toilet roll thing's techie.
But that was my main stature in there. Once I don't disrespect you, you ain't got to disrespect me because I'm not like these other guys. So it's either you take your time to understand or you don't, innit? Yeah. It's your hair every single day. I'm going home. So I can make your life easier. I can not give a fuck. But that's up to you, innit? Because I'm not going to come and disrespect you because at the end of the day, you're a human being. You're somebody's brother, son, whatever. So it's not going to be that energy for me. But I also had to remind them that I'm not a dickhead.
Hey, you're going to say hello to the camera? Say hi.
I'm going to say hi.
High five. Cool. So we're getting joined. But no, I was gonna say that I get exactly what you're saying because in my later years I got on with staff quite well. I feel like quite a lot of staff had respect for me, I had respect for them. But my policy was exactly what you said. You're here to do a job, innit? I'm here to live, in quotes. You don't need to hate me, I don't need to hate you. Just don't disrespect me.
Yeah.
And I won't disrespect you. And the moment that they cross that line is kind of, I'll try and put people back in check in whatever form.
Exactly.
But it's a losing game, to be honest, as a prisoner.
For a prisoner, yeah.
But alright, so first day, how did you get through your first day?
I think my first day was calm. It wasn't that like yours or anything like that. I feel like how did I get through my first day? I mean, it was challenging, but it wasn't that challenging, I would say. I saw a couple people in there that I knew as well.
Prisoners, you mean?
Yeah. Not staff or anything like that. So it was this. It was more of a feel of more. I'm very observant, so I had to observe how the other govs were or officers with the inmates, and who was more the troublesome inmates. I think that's what it was. And then once I grasped who was more trouble, then I kind of knew how to kind of deal with them. But there was a lot of nice prisoners as well. I won't lie, there was a lot of nice prisoners that, as a female,
The only human, right?
as a female as well, I think it helped as well. Like you told them whether like, oh, can you just bang up, or like they knew that you were nude, they'll just do it. Like just because we're females, innit, kind of thing. Yeah. So it wasn't that hard.
There's a lot of argument with people who say female officers couldn't be in jail, but I actually feel like you lot lessen the violence by so much, because
100%.
like you said, a female officer comes over and tells me something, 9 times out of 10 my manly instinct's gonna kick in. And I'm just gonna be like, man, it's cool. Do you know? Yeah, as long as you're not rude, like you sound like you might have.
That's the thing.
I'm only playing. I like the rude ones, they're fun.
You know the rudeness here was only to set a line, because
I get it completely.
you're still a female at the end of the day, and they try to move to you every single day.
Because they've been in jail, and that's it.
100% set your boundaries.
Set a boundary. Like, I'm cool, but
don't take the piss.
Yeah.
And that's my energy anyway, even outside.
So what advice did the other staff give you when you?
They didn't give. No.
Because you know what I was gonna say, like it's almost like the new staff are either gonna be really timid because they're just scared as hell, or they're gonna be extremely rude. And we always think they're extremely rude because they're told in training or something like.
Nah.
You know, there's the animals.
Do you know what?
You know what I mean?
No. Do you know what it is? What they tell you in training is actually different to how you are in real life. Because I'll be real. You see, in training, they say, you know what? Go in, sit on their bed, build a rapport with them. Listen, talk to them at the table. All of that in training now.
And when
you think I can sit on a bed in a London jail?
They're telling you, what are you bringing? What are you bringing in?
You're doing this.
Wild.
You're doing this.
Wild.
You're doing this.
You've been in the cell for too long.
Or I think what you're making the SIR, right?
Yeah. You know the SI
security incident reports, right?
Training is completely different, but how the staff they throw you in the deep end. There's no time to talk of you do this or you should do that. It's literally you're just thrown in the deep end, and it's they don't support you. They don't. I'll be honest with you.
Do you know what as well? I think like it's like.
I'll ask a question quickly.
Go ahead, jump in.
Do you think they didn't support you because you're women of colour?
Yeah, I'm literally just about to
that, and also
We're young.
we're young. How we talk, we can relate to the prisoners more than they can.
Yeah.
We're from.
So before you explain that, you should probably explain the disparity between officers. So 1 second. Just before you explain it, you should probably explain the disparity between yourselves and other general officers. Like, what's the general officer look like, and what background are they from?
Stereotypically, I would say
I see one.
They're white. They're
sorry.
I see one.
I'm saying I see one. You're saying white.
She's a whole gang member.
They've been there for years. Like, do you know what I mean? So when I'm not gonna lie, like I feel like they need to have diversity in their workplace, and so that's why they get us in. But it's like there's a lot of systematic issues and systematic racism going on, and you know what I mean. So I feel like it's a bigger problem. So they're not going to be supportive of us. Do you know what I'm saying? When I say us, I'm referring to like young females especially, because in prisons, there's mostly black men in there. So what do you think is going to happen? Do you understand? And if you're not taught a certain type of way as a female, all that love that self-worth love that they're showing you, all them compliments they're giving you every day, like that's going to get to your head. I understand how gubs end up in relationships because you're in there every day. Like, you're a workaholic and you're doing overtime and it's very easy to build their relationships.
100%,
But
yeah.
if you're not used to guys talking to you a certain way and giving you these compliments, and now you're getting something that you might not get outside, or now you're getting something that is different or you're not used to, of course that's gonna happen. But what they don't show you is these things happen, and this is how you deal with it. And this is where you can come if it does start, and why the guys are coming to talk to you that way. You have to figure it out for yourself and learn for yourself.
So go ahead.
The corruption or whatever, it's like they want you to fall in the trap.
Yeah.
They don't stop you and let you know what can happen and how to stop it. They will let you fall in, they will let you trip, they will let you do all of that.
Watch you
and
do it as well.
Then come for you.
Watch it while it's happening and say,
and then they'll come.
No.
But I feel like it's like I spoke about before in the podcast. I've had emotional, personal, and sexual relationship with female officers when I've been in prison, and I feel like the way I always internalize it and justify it in my head when people are saying how crazy it is to me is people are just human.
Yeah, that's what it is, you know.
You're gonna find somebody you're attracted to,
You're
just same way if you're in a rave and the right guy said the right thing on the right day.
About it though. Like even there's be girls that be like, oh my god, you would date a prisoner. Like even if
it's a normal person on the outside,
like even if I stop being a prison officer and I go date a prisoner, they'll be like, no, I will never do that. And it's just like, but again, like they come from different worlds as well.
Walks of life, innit?
So whereas we've come from the ends, like these are people that we relate to, that we've seen them grow up or we've grown up with them. Like we understand it differently. They're just coming in from wherever they're coming in from regular jobs, from like regular households or whatever. They're not coming from ends. So when they're seeing us communicate, they think, right, you're being friendly, and it's like, no. First of all, I'm on mad smoke. This is not friendly chat that we're chatting, but I don't have to bend up a guy to get him to listen to me or to get him to not do what he's about to do.
9 times out of 10, we could get probably the guys behind their door more time than the other officers that are giving them their...
That was the next thing I was gonna no
sorry,
talk your thing. I just wanna go through it because I think if we don't cover one side of it, which is probably obviously being attractive females, if we just deal with the fact that you lot are both young black women and can probably relate to the prisoners much more, do you feel like the other officers get jealous of those relationships at times?
100%.
Tell me about it. Let's hear it. Tell me about it.
Do you know one thing? Like when stepping into like working in jails, one thing I did take into consideration was staff members. I didn't take into consideration how they would behave, how they would behave towards me, how they behave towards the prisoners, and then their reaction towards how my approach of working. Because in my head, I'm trying to have an approach that works for me, that keeps me safe as well. That remember, we are in jail, you know, it's not a joke. Like there are men that would
hold you hostage,
and would it happens all the time.
Exactly.
It's normal.
I'm not trying to be that guy. I want to go home in peace. I want to go home in peace. So in my head, I'm trying to figure out the best way I can work and make it work at the same time. But then these guys, there's some guys that are power hungry. They bring their personal life into the jail. So now whatever you was pissed off at home about, you're
now bringing it and taking it out on the inmates.
Inmates will do one little thing that might be out of control and they're boning out, and it's just like, it's not that. It's
not necessary.
Do you know what I mean? So then when they see you approach it in a certain way, they're like, nah, she must be doing this. She must be. Do you know what I'm saying? And they start doing weird things, and it's just like they don't get it. Like they don't get. I got asked one time, why is it that the prisoners seem to like you so much?
Because we grew up with you.
That's what it is.
Why are you asking me how other people feel? You need to ask them why they feel. You can't ask me why someone else.
Furthermore, what you should have asked that person is, why don't they like you?
True.
Rather than watching my team, why don't you work on your interpersonal skills a little bit?
Exactly. But again, being a young female as well, I'm not really knowing like all my. I would say I didn't know all my work laws and rules, whatever you want to call it, like as a staff member, and how to fight the big dogs. In that
you feel
area.
singled out as well. You do feel singled out. It's not easy.
It's not, and it pays on you because at the end of the day, this is your bread and butter. Like this is what's paying me. So now if I mess up here, I have to find a new job. Realistically,
so it's like you're treading on water at the same time. Trying to do your job, trying to be cool obviously with the prisoners, then trying to be cool with your colleagues, but the colleague side was a myth.
Yeah, the colleagues.
It must be like nerve wracking because that's what I was gonna say on just the attractive black woman thing. It's not even as a black woman. I see the young white girls, the Asian girls, any woman who's attractive in prison seems to get really, I like to use the word picked on or targeted by the other staff members. And it becomes an issue for and I think every single wing in every single jail has got that one chick who all the staff members hate, and they hate her because everyone else likes her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Facts.
That's what I can say.
You know, they don't even want to go into it because it's so traumatizing. Just bare flashbacks is coming in. You know, that's
it's not even traumatizing. I got along with the prisoners way better than the staff.
I get it.
It was traumatizing for me, I'm not gonna lie, because it happened so quickly. Like, I started my job, and then a couple months in, I'm dealing with all this madness. Like, I'm hearing girls say this, girls are snitching on me,
looking at you funny.
And I'm just like, I'm really getting bullied.
That's the correct word.
I'm getting bullied. And at the time, there's ways to handle being bullied in a workplace, but you're 23.
When you're in that workplace as well, in that environment, and it's a government job at that, and it's like almost your team is not your team. You're literally being singled out. Like, people don't look at, oh yeah, she's just a girl, whatever, she's young. The things that we had to face on a day-to-day, forget the prisoner
on
side,
top of the prisoners,
just in the meetings alone, that it's too much.
Because every morning you have a weekly.
Every morning and afternoon briefing. You're getting told what to do here, getting told what to do there. And obviously they got the SO and the CMs, and then they're picking on you, and it's just like raw. And then that's where you build a rapport with the prisoners. So you feel closer to them.
That's
so
what
like, but imagine the CM did it, and then
so they're pushing you towards the prisoners even further, because who else you gonna talk to?
Who else you gonna talk to?
You know what I mean?
And some prisoners, they get it as well, because some of them, they see how some of the other guys do, and they're like, they're a this or they're a that, and they actually are like that. So you're just relating. That's all,
it's like you're on road, but you're actually inside, if that makes sense. You're just relating.
And plus, you can see it because the prison officer that don't like you will somehow make it known to us that they don't like you.
Exactly, and they would come to you and tell you, know so and so, and you know they're saying them things.
Yeah, so that then will make you have some kind of empathy towards the person that they're trying to single out. Like I said, I think it happens on every wing. There's always that one woman that they're all want to.
At one point, I thought I was being set up. At one point, things were happening so mad that I thought that somebody was telling these prisoners to do things on purpose and see how I would react.
Wow.
To see if I would get. That's how
that level of paranoia.
I didn't even want to have. I did not even want to have a locker. That's how
I didn't have a
was.
locker.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
There's certain things.
But the madness is that what everyone's gonna be thinking is, you are in. I mean, we know the environment a lot better than most people that are gonna be watching this. But to the outside world, you are probably in what people would class as being the top 3, 4, 5 most dangerous places in England. And these are the people that are supposed to protect you. These are your team members. These are the people that have your life in their hands to help you out when it goes sour, and you're saying that you felt so disconnected from them.
The thing is, they would do that because they're on their power trip. So they would always, like, if anything was to get cracking, they would always be there. And that's for their own reasons. That's because some people love the hype.
Okay, so now we've come to the time of another exciting new brand. See, I just feel like everybody does the same thing now, and it's really boring. You don't see anybody do anything innovative. All the clothes look the same, it's the same shapes, it's the same design, it's the same materials. Now what this brand, Penny Pound, is doing, again, super sick, super lit packaging. What this brand is doing is using real currency, so that's real British money, real British notes, real British coins as a material, as a concept, as an aesthetic, to create art on clothing items, furniture, all kinds of stuff. And here what we have is a Penny Pound bag. This is super sick. This is monumental. I mean, it's the details for me. You can see, I don't know if you can see what I can see, but it's the details for me. I mean, this part here, where you see little Elizabeth, our queen, you see her eye there, you see her mouth. Just
the whole connectivity of it, the entire thought process of how this is put together, how this differs from other brands, is amazing to me. This is a statement piece brand. This is a statement piece bag. When you're walking down the road, everybody has to notice what you have in your hands when you have this bag with you. Don't get robbed. I mean, be careful. There's nearly £200 worth of real cash spread throughout this bag into this beautiful aesthetic. This bag's called the Heartbreak bag. It's real top grain leather. It's got a nice purple lining inside, if you can see. It's got areas for your credit cards and your phones, etc. It comes with a detachable handle. I'm really excited about this brand. I'm really super excited about this brand. This is obviously, well, it's a unisex bag, so men or female. If you want to buy a bag, buy a bag. But I've seen some of the pieces they have come in, jumpers, t-shirts, everything. Unisex for everybody. This hat, again, I didn't want to show my head because I hadn't had the trim. I didn't feel like I wanted to offend people like that. Penny pound. This is all happening. Definitely go and check this brand out. Definitely. I mean, I can't even say it enough. This is some lit stuff. My people, check it out. Blessings to you. Penny pound. Yeah, so you were saying you felt how?
In the London jail, I felt more protected by the prisoners, if I'm totally honest with you. I felt like the prisoners, and they have backed me in certain situations more than my own staff members.
I think that's something people wouldn't actually know about, Joe. Have you found that as well? That the prisoners can be extremely protective of certain staff members.
To the point where it causes arguments in the jail.
Yeah, they were way more protective.
I've had prisoners literally get into fights.
What's your question? Because you're holding up your highlight. You're gonna.
No, but you see why it's mad, yeah? Because, perfect example, when I was in Phelps, there was a woman, a white woman.
Yeah.
The people in my room was mad protective over her, but they would never suspect her of doing anything like that white woman.
But she was bringing in the.
But was she
doing the most?
I won't say what was the thing, but it was a legend.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that word, a legend.
But yeah, like it's.
Yeah, I felt protective. I was protected, I should say, by a lot of prisoners in there.
And how does that make you feel when it comes to, or what kind of psychology does that then set in towards you when you know the prisoners have got your back more than the staff members that you've come here to protect and be protected by?
It lets me know that what I came here to do is working. Because I came in here to build, to show you something different, and to show you that
not
all something.
Man.
I'm not here to try and make it 10 times harder. You've done your crime, you're doing your time in it, so as far as I'm concerned, I don't need to
you got your
make
punishment
it harder.
Make it harder for you.
So if now you're responding to me in a positive way, that means what I'm doing is working. I had guys coming to me asking me about situations to do with their kids and like going through like court and stuff, and what would I do if my baby mom's moving like this? And I used to be like, listen, you're in jail, like if your baby mom's moving mad, there's no point stressing now. Just wait in it, because what you're gonna do, get mad in here and you can't do nothing.
Facts.
Like,
I mean, easier said than done, but it's the truth.
But when you have someone inside there, because they're not talking to people outside all the time 24/7. If you have someone that's actually in there with you, that you can actually like, oh, let me just go ask and see what.
I mean, personally, I would never ask an officer nothing.
See?
Unless we
Unless
really
you build that rapport with us.
No, that's what I'm saying. Because there's some officers, like I said, the relationship might be much. We might genuinely be friends at this point.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't expect nothing I say for you to carry off you or for them, vice versa. But on the general consensus, as I said in the podcast before, if I had an issue or I was feeling mad down, or the last person I'm gonna talk to is a prison officer, because as far as I'm concerned, that prison officer is just gonna carry it to another prison officer, or it's gonna carry it to another prison, carry it to a prisoner. Next thing you got the whole wing talking about Switch was in his cell crying last night. Not to say I ever did, because I mean there's nothing wrong with it, but I genuinely didn't. No, genuinely, I just wasn't a crier. I would definitely, times I wish I could cry. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I used to feel like the staff were just as engaged in the bitchiness as the prisoners.
It's worse as well. Like, remember, there's corruption happening. So, like, there's some prisoners that are bringing in stuff for some officers bringing in stuff, and they don't want that to get exposed, or they don't want that. So if I've come in and now everyone's all friendly with me, they feel threatened. Because it's not just their
money,
job,
yes,
it's now their money. Like
their
now
money.
they're thinking, rah, the prison's gonna start asking her to bring in packs, Like
there's a lot of competition.
No,
yeah,
no,
I was to say that. There's a lot of competition in there.
We haven't found out what jails you lot worked in yet, but you're gonna tell us in a minute. But I remember one particular jail when I was in Wandsworth. Wandsworth was like,
that was what I was.
yeah, see, Wandsworth was probably the craziest. And I've seen corruption in all jails, but Wandsworth was probably the craziest. Wandsworth, we used to just walk down the landings and just hand screws your number like it was the block on the high road. Like, shout me later. I remember I had this one woman I was into something with. She ended up actually getting sacked and going to jail over somebody else. But she was bringing me so much stuff. I was literally flooding the jail at one point. Like, I had the whole place flooded out, and they didn't know what to do to stop it because they couldn't quite figure out that it was her who was doing it for me. And I remember over the space of a week, I got moved to a wing. I don't know if they still have it in Wandsworth. They had a wing that was set for the drug people. So I got kicked off of one wing because I think we tried to rob a guy for a phone or something. He snitched. I got put on that wing. And when I got put on that wing, in the space of 1 week, I had 2 officers. One of them was actually I'm not saying his nationality, but one of them was a foreign guy who was brought to me by a prisoner who I'd kind of saved from getting into a madness with some guys I know. He said to me, I'm going home, getting deported. This is my link, this is my contact. And then his contact was like, yeah, bam, work with me from now on. You don't need to work with that person. Like, I got you. I would just kind of play dumb and was like, no, I'm not really into that. Left it at that. And then
Just
that same
case.
week, on my association, I got called into office by 2 staff members, one man, one woman, and sat me down and said, so where are you getting your stuff from? We know my man does it over on A wing. We know he does it over on B wing. We know does it over there, but we can't figure out where you're getting your stuff. But what we're telling you is you're here now. Work with us.
And you know they think they're so smart with that, yeah, because they think prisons don't talk.
100%.
There'll be times where like they've taken prisoners on bed watches or whatever, or hospital, and then they'll come back to the jail and be like, Ree, I gotta chat to you. I'm like, right, what? And they'll tell me whatever girl that they went on that hospital trip with is on me, and they're asking them, what this am I bringing? And I'm like, right. So even though they think that
That's
they
another
got,
way
they
about
think
how
they
we're
got
protected.
Yeah, because they think that they got the prisoners on smash because they're telling them this, that, and the other. These times they're coming right back to me, telling me exactly what Gov is doing, asking 100%. What as well. So it's just like, and these times you're not doing anything. It makes you so paranoid. Oh my god, it makes you so paranoid.
It makes you think, fuck it, why not? Might as well do it since you're just saying it.
Exactly.
But that's why I was asking you what kind of psychology it gives you in that circumstance. Because if I was in such a high risk, such high intense situation, and then the people I'm supposed to be kind of against are the ones who are showing me more love than the ones that are supposed to be with me, you're gonna naturally start leaning towards them and then towards their way of thinking.
I felt like a prisoner.
Yeah.
It got to that point, I actually felt like a prisoner, more than a staff member, if anything.
I actually got moved off my wing. From that day I felt like a prisoner. I was like,
what was the situation that led to you getting moved off?
Basically, one day I came into work and I've never even told this story like this, you know. One day I come into work and I didn't even make it to my wing. I just heard,
they nabbed you from the start.
Yeah, like we signed on our radios, innit? So they were, as soon as I signed on, I heard, yeah, can you come to the command suite? Nah, you only go command suite.
Suicide's wrong, innit?
Yo, it's on mad situations happening, innit? It wasn't even my manager, it wasn't even comms, it was the whole director and assistant director of the jail. I was like, oh my god. Well, I'm even saying to myself, what have I done? Like, I ain't done nothing, but I'm saying, bro, what did I do? I'm thinking about it yesterday, the day before. We're sitting down now, and there's like, we're just hearing that. This is the same time they asked me, why does everyone like me? They're like, well, we're just hearing that you're too friendly with the prisoners. These times in training, you told us to be friendly, to build rapport, to da-da-da-da-da. So where's the line? What line are you lot setting? Because I worked in Thameside. They don't even call you Gov or Miss, they call you by your name. So automatically, that's comfort. Like automatically, you're calling me Ree. So automatically, you're gonna feel like me, you're something. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, they called me up and they're sitting me down and they're asking me very stupid questions like my nails. I had nails at the time, and I started the whole journey with nails. I've done the whole training in nails. Like, no one ever mentioned anything about my nails, but now that I'm in the job, you're asking me, don't you think my nails are too long? All your managers have nails on. Your staff have nails on. So why is my nails a problem? Do you know what I mean? So I said, no, I don't. Like, I went through training and got this done in it. Like, I've done use of force with my nails, so I'm alright. They're like, okay, what about your trousers? So apparently my trousers were too tight.
That's what the next.
You haven't provided me with uniform, so I don't know what you want to do. I'm spending money I shouldn't even spend because you're supposed to give me uniform. They had no chat for me. Then anyway, they put out this piece of paper. That's when I thought I was getting fired. Because I thought, nah, this is evidence.
Yeah.
They said to me that they told me that I let 2 prisoners I was standing on the landing and I let 2 prisoners play in my hair. I was like, hold on. First of all, as you can see, my hair was always in a bun, 9 times out of 10. What hair? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, how was my hair? And I think I had there's only one time that I think I will weave, and obviously, if you touch my hair, I'm not feeling that. So I was like, I'm telling you now, like, I did not let that happen. Yeah. And if I did, it was without my knowledge. So what you need to, I asked them, I said, first of all, have you even checked the CCTV? They said no. So I said, then why is this even go check the CCTV and then come back to me, because I want to know what happened. I don't even want to watch it with you lot.
Facts,
I don't know what they were talking about.
Like, no comments.
Anyway, they both agreed. So they went off, watched the CCTV now, came back and was like, oh, it wasn't that. You was walking along the landing and someone touched the end of your hair, and then someone else must have called you, and then you just went down the stairs. You didn't even notice. So in my house, like, so how is that me letting 2 prisoners on the land? Like, do you know what I mean? And at the time, because you're so engulfed in dealing with that situation and worrying about whether you're going to get fired or not, you're not taking in that, first of all, someone just made an accusation that's bullying, because they damn well know that nobody was, that wasn't the situation, but you still went and put in a IR incident report saying that that's what happened, knowing that that didn't happen. So I feel like I just didn't approach that situation properly, because I let them move me off that wing, and I didn't have to move off that wing because I did not do nothing wrong.
So how did they kind of approach telling you got to move off the wing? So in that same meeting, they kind of said to you, you're done.
My next set, I'm going to be on a different wing, and I just went with it because they said to me how they timed me was, they were like, okay, move off that wing and then let it die down a bit and then come back, because I started saying, wow, like, I feel like nobody likes me, like, I feel like this is just some targeting thing, like, why? That's not the case. And then they're like, no, let's let it die down, give it a couple weeks, and then you'll come back on the wings. I never went back on the wings. Until this day, I had the prisoners like,
they bamboozled you.
No, because we clock it straight away, because we kind of
come up with the most. Oh, was you pregnant? Oh, did you literally?
Yeah,
come up with wild
because you know
stories.
we learn your shift patterns.
Yeah, you lot actually do.
Yeah, you subconsciously. So when you miss 2 days, we're like, what's going on? You're the argument at home. Like, what's happening? Like, we need to. We're emotionally invested in your life.
My nails, you notice my nails.
Everything.
Yeah. I miss you smell different today. What's happening?
You lot notice
what's happening?
Everything.
I felt like
down to your trousers. Listen, your trainer, everything.
I could have a broken nail. It would be peak. That'll be it.
But then just to touch back on kind of what you were saying, a question for both of you is, with that kind of overwhelmingly oppressive psychological trauma that you're dealing with on a daily basis, were you offered any kind of therapy or support, or did you feel like you needed anything afterwards? Or
100.
Definitely. What do you mean after? As in after we left the job?
Well, I'm saying like a lot of prisoners face PTSD.
Yeah.
And it's not diagnosed, and they're not given any help. And I'm saying I feel like prison officers go through just as much as prisoners.
Yeah. I feel like even worse, because we deal with the staff as well as the prisoners.
Yeah.
I think they automatically think we're just meant to be strong.
Yeah.
They don't even have a look in on is everything alright, or do like a meeting after.
Exactly.
Like, for example, after your probation, it's like, I think 6 months. I didn't have my probation done until like after 9-10 months. Like, they just forgot about me. And it's just like, hold on a minute, like, you lot are meant to sit me down, have a meeting with me,
see how you're doing,
see how I'm doing, how I've settled in, is there any problem? None of that.
Again, do you know why I feel like, again, like I said, this country, I feel like faces about systematic racism, institutionalized racism, because there'll be some things that are so obviously bang out of order, and you're just like, how am I the only one? I'm like, I remember one time, do you know when like someone dies in the jail, they're supposed to sit everyone down who was like there on that shift?
Yeah.
Right?
And ask them, yeah.
So we had a guy die in our jail. I was on the wing, and I was there in it. I wasn't in the actual cell with them, but I was there. They pulled everybody up except me. Everybody got sat down.
There's a lot of racism. Let's just
And
put it out
they
there.
asked
There's
everyone,
a lot
are
of
you
racism
okay?
in the jail.
Because I thought they was
That's
bringing
crazy.
them up to like debrief or like say what happened and like do stuff like that. When my colleagues are coming back and I'm like, oh, what was that about? They're just like, oh, nothing. Just asked me if it was alright.
That was
like,
it.
Okay, so I can just see a dead body and it's nothing
that's
to me.
it.
How did you feel?
At that point, that's when I started not caring. Like I didn't
How did
care.
you
Like,
feel about seeing a dead body on the landing?
oh,
Like, literally.
Was it on the landing or in the cell?
It was in the cell.
Suicide was it?
no,
Suicide.
it was no, he was sick. He died of cancer.
Okay, yeah.
For me,
Did you walk into the cell and physically see him?
yeah, I saw him.
Mm-hmm.
For me, like at that point, so much things were becoming normal, like seeing blood, seeing people
That's
getting
exactly the
hung, like
correct
seeing people
word.
hanging themselves.
Desensitized.
It wasn't like, but it was like raw. Like I have to come work next day and not even have emotions to that. Do you know what I mean? Like I actually have to get up and.
Not even think about
So
it.
I'm
Like you
saying-
explain to your people, like I just saw this one, and they're like,
They
oh
don't-
my
they don't
gosh,
get it.
swear down, and we're just
Yeah.
like, yeah, like
And then
norm.
dealing with your
See that
staff
4
members
times a
moving
day.
like that,
Yeah.
it's just, it's not cool. Like I'm here dealing with that, and then my staff members in, so you just feel so alone. And then I understand now why there's so much anger in the jails. I understand now why there's so much, because I feel like this and I'm a staff. Bro, imagine how, the
how you
prisoners
lot are
feel.
feeling,
Facts.
and that's
Like-
what another thing that led us towards them, because now we understand their pain.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Because you're dealing with me like this, and I'm not a criminal in
So,
their eyes.
so having gone through that and experienced that, there's gonna be people who are gonna watch this like,
Yeah,
well, they're gonna be like, no, because everyone's got to speak their truth. So
Yeah.
you know, but I mean in a sense, so there are gonna be people that watch this, and rather than talk shit about you lot and talk badly, they're gonna be like, well, actually, do you know what? Genuinely, that was their experience. What can we do to improve this? What would you recommend
What to improve what?
what
to
as in
improve the
staff?
experience that you lot faced in terms of being a young black woman, being a young woman, being a young pretty woman, all of those 3 segmented, being a new staff member,
It starts
not
from
having
the
the
top.
training, all of those different segments, being someone who's gone through that process, what would you recommend the authorities or the people in charge do to make it easier
They need
and
to
better
have
for
more
people?
one-to-ones. I feel like they need to. Communication is key. I feel like they need to talk a lot more. They need to outline, like for example, loads of allegations. They need to look at both sides, not just one side. For example, like one time, I got in trouble from a CM top guy because I didn't give another staff member my allocation sheet.
Your
Now-
allocation sheet.
Yeah, I didn't want to show it to him.
So explain to people what allocation sheet is.
It's basically where you're meant to go or where prisoners are meant to go and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He's meant to have his own one. Obviously, we had conflict. He's run to them and said, "Oh, Bianca's doing this or Bianca's not." Da 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 da. I got in trouble because I didn't show him my sheet. Now my thing was, why do I have to show him? He should have his own one anyway. Like, but you should have just given it to him. But why?
Was
Why?
he an officer as well?
He was an officer like me. He was a one.
So let's
shot.
just explain this. So he's supposed to have his own sheet. You're
He's
supposed to
meant
have your
his-
sheet. He's supposed to fill in his.
And we
You're
only had
supposed
conflict.
to fill in yours.
Yeah, and
you
he's
had a
come
bit.
to me
yeah.
on some. Oh, let me see yours. I'm just like, why? You have your own. Like, you've already got yours. Oh, but let me see your. No, he's ran. I've got in trouble. His thing was, you should have shown him. I don't have to show him anything, especially if we're not cool. Why should I? Like,
Especially your officer as well.
yeah, it doesn't matter. That's when I knew. I said, yeah, you lot. I can't even chat to you lot. I can't be cool with you lot. Literally.
I think, again, I think like me, I'm very deep in things, so I really think it's a bigger picture. In all of these government, society, jobs, I feel that just needs to be more black representation, and black representation that is actually supportive of black people, because there's been so much times where it's your own, selling out your own, and I understand how people like to say, oh, but black people, da 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 da. When you step into that world, it's not that. Black people ain't for you in there. Because
It's like they're scared, like they're coconuts.
And it's because they're in a certain
That's what I
position.
call it,
So
sorry, but-
you might have like a black manager or a black supervisor
But
or a
it's
CM,
like they're scared.
but because they're in that position, they also don't want to lose their position.
They
Do you
want
understand?
a yes man. That's it.
Yeah,
That's what they want.
literally just that, because they're not supporting you. And then if you do go to them, they tell you need to do this, that, and the other. Like, you need to be a puppet. You need to. So the more like real ones in there, the better. Because again, like, look, it's easy for us to just communicate with the guys in there, and then things are calm. Do you understand? So imagine that was a manager, or imagine that was a director of the jail. Things will be going differently. If it was more of us in there.
So you mean more diversity, more
yeah,
black
more
people,
diversity.
Asians, Arabs?
More of us supporting us. There's all that's in there is black people. Like, obviously there's white people and
A high percentage,
percentage
considering the amount of people that's in the country. Yeah.
Exactly. So then when these are coming to you asking you stupid questions like why do they like you the most, bro, it's we relate. Just because of our skin colour already, we're automatically gonna relate. Do you know what I mean? So it's a bigger problem. Like I said, it's a bigger kettle of fish to fry. And I don't feel like it's gonna get resolved anytime soon. But
let's just try and resolve it. I'm saying we're not gonna fix the problems now, but let's just put it out there, our thoughts and
More
feelings. So you're saying,
and
so you said more one-on-ones. That means more therapeutic sessions.
Yeah. So don't be so hard on the newbies or whatever. As soon as they come in, like guide them at the same time. Make them feel comfortable to come and talk to you if they have a problem, and
have a safe space.
Don't push us to the prisoners. Don't do it.
Do you think it would be smart then to have almost like I don't know if a therapist is the right word, but it just came to my mind, a safe space where you can go and talk to somebody
like a mentor
who's
or
not
something.
allowed to then carry your information back
they
to
say
somebody.
that.
they have that, but it's not
Do
If
they,
it was
what
that-
do they class? What's the name for that? What do they class that as?
like mental, like
Like a mental kind of thing. If they had that, then fair enough. But it's like in every job. No, because a best friend, it will get to that person and get to that person. No.
So
And
maybe
they will always go by policy and protocol. So as much as they like to say we've got this and that, they will always stick to policies and procedures. So no matter what goes on in there, they will come and bring out their terms and conditions and their policies and procedures and tell you, but this is what's in that. Do you know what I mean? So going into the job, you need to understand your place as a employer, your rights. See what bullying is, and just make sure you can stand your ground when you're in there. Because at the end of the day, like I said, I left because I just couldn't be able to fight with them. I could have, and I probably would have still been working there to this day, because there's bare things they've done that was incorrect, illegal, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But I didn't understand it. So it's about just learning, and also the prison service is actually going to be like better towards their colleagues. When people come to them, like their staff members, saying, Tom is saying to me, like, you know, he's talking to me a bit too much, and he's saying to me, what should I do? Instead of making them feel like they're now a criminal as well, try and intervene. Like, move them off that wing maybe, or
you mean so you mean if a prisoner is now trying to
like not get involved,
trying to get close to you and you notice it and report
And we
it?
report it, then we
Okay.
then get targeted to say, well, why is he? Not even that he's doing it.
Oh yeah, because they'll come back and tell us like, "Wow, you know, when putting a report about you, and said you're trying to,
exactly."
and now
That's
you're
how-
enemy number one because we're gonna tell the whole wing and. You know what I mean?
Well, not me.
But cool. So I'm proper trying to dig down to it. I just think this is such an important conversation that people aren't hearing it. People don't get to see this conversation. So we've said one-on-one / therapy / safe space. We've said more diversity, and we said potentially having people trained when they're entering the prison on the rules, on the terms and conditions, on what they can be protected by and protected, etc., etc. Is that what you think? Is there anything else you don't want to put out there that you would say, listen, someone needs to listen to this right now?
I think they really need to build a better rapport between the prison staff. I feel like they need to change. You see the stereotypical idea that we all had, or what a prison, that needs to change, because that also comes with negativity. Like, that's also a sign of negativity, because that old white, whether it's female or male, it's really hostile. The prisoner don't want to chat to that gov because they're old crumpy.
Just need to make it normal, like.
Yeah, because a lot of them have their own opinions already. Before they even enter the jail, they already have their own opinions of prisoners, and they think they're scums and they're prisoners and they deserve to be here and Like, you're not supposed to come to the workplace like that. Yeah, they're prisoners. Yeah, they did commit crimes. But that's got nothing to do with you. That's got nothing to do with you. You're here.
Everyone makes
to
mistakes
provide
at the end of
a
the
service to them. End of.
The thing is, not only that, it doesn't benefit them, because what you have to remember is a lot of the people in prison, let's not say like I use the term loosely, the lower classes of prison, because we all know prison's got a class system within itself. But I'm saying like the actual active criminals, not that 9 to 5, they're usually making a lot of money, or they've come from places where they've got a lot of power in their community, in their social circles, and now this person who they call in the Tesco worker is now here looking down on them, And we can see within you that you think you're better than me. But I'm thinking in myself, well, hold on a minute. I know that I'm more successful than you. Well, in that world, I'm more successful than you financially. Maybe I feel like I'm more powerful in my community.
Exactly.
And now you're talking to me in a way. It makes you so. It doesn't make you infuriated. You just think, I'll teach you.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's how a lot of aggression happens.
Like, mad situations. Some people in there for like driving offences.
Literally.
Not paying their TV license.
Yeah.
Like,
Have you ever seen anybody go to jail for not paying their TV license? Wow, that's chaos. That's chaos.
I'm not gonna say a name, but
What
yeah,
a lifestyle.
Yeah. Obviously, had other cases, but that was.
Why did they open the door? I just remember we used to hide. Like, what idiot opened the door and went to jail?
Proud as
You know?
well.
What guy busted the door and went to jail for the TV?
Yeah.
Like, what? They was looking for our letterbox. We was looking back like this. Like, we was not opening that door for nothing.
Yeah.
But so no, I'm glad that you lot put that to us. Just something you want to ask us?
Do you think getting better support from your loved ones at home would have made it a little bit more easier?
Useless.
Did you say useless?
No, it's a who's
Oh.
life.
Because I know you're going to work, you're getting stressed off at work.
Oh,
I
our
haven't
lives.
talked to
Yeah.
anyone.
Yeah.
So when you went home, so
Yeah.
you see someone, you see someone commit suicide or whatever, you see someone down the wing, whatnot. Like, I'm not being funny, day to day, that's not really normal.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
my
obviously,
life, I don't see people just dying, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Did you
no.
not go home and fall away?
Yeah,
Or
but I
you
didn't
just
tell
have
no
mental
I don't
shock?
think the outside
They don't
people would understand it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But to answer your question, a lot of people ain't really supportive of your job sometimes.
That's-
I didn't tell nobody that I worked in a jail. for
It's
so
like, why
many
you working
reasons.
there? It's
Well
dangerous.
I didn't tell
all of
nobody knew I
that.
was working in a jail, so I left.
Yeah.
And that was because for so many reasons. A, my family, that they weren't really. They were like, why can't you get a 9 to 5? I'm working in the office, blah blah blah. The people, like, obviously, I was still kind of in the ends. I didn't want it getting out, so then next minute, oh, my bro's in there. Can you just
You're lucky.
da-da-da-da-da,
bro.
Yeah.
send a
Man,
disc
out.
pack in and da-da. I ain't got time for that because you're not my friend. You don't talk to me on a normal day. Now that you think I can do you favors, no, bro, no. And they'll be like, sis, da-da-da-da. Oh, wow. But yeah, I didn't tell no one. And again, it creates even more drama. People knowing creates more stories as well. Like, it just gives them things to say.
I didn't mind people knowing,
Like-
if I'm honest.
No, I did, because people chat rubbish for no reason. See, when I came out of the jail, when I stopped working there, that's when all the rumours started. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, people were telling
I
me
started in there.
that, rah, this man saying
You
that.
and your
they
son
did
have got a
this
whole
with
game
you,
going on here.
and it's just like, imagine that was happening whilst I was working. I would have been gone. Like, my head, I would have quit.
Now the only reason why I'm asking is because I thought it would have like been able to separate things for you, so you were able to just be
Work
like,
life
"Oh,
and
I've
home
got a
life."
debrief, like you know, your mom might come home and your dad's like, so what's wrong, honey?
Yeah.
Talk and just a little debrief. I thought maybe if you had a better sit, just come at home.
Not really.
I'm gonna say something, but my one, I would say I didn't, not family. I had other people that I could debrief on the day with, but it was more someone from the inside than the outside.
So let's get onto that in a minute.
Hey.
So
Getting hot now.
before we go down that route, that's the EastEnders thing though. Just before we go there.
Okay, so I'm gonna bust you another exciting new brand. This brand is called Legit Criminal. I love this brand. Let me show you what's going on. Look. Something that they got. Look. Even look at the packaging furthermore. The box comes wrapped in cling film. It says 1 kilo of cocaine on it, and from what the print is, looks like raw cocaine base. So it's really cool, really exciting, thinking outside of the box. You love that, you know? Too many brands doing the same thing nowadays. No one's doing anything different. Look at that. Look at that packaging. Alright, so let's get this open. So, as I said, Legit Criminal brand, they make lifestyle trainers and clothing. Oh, look at these. Oof. Look at these. These trainers or sneakers for you foreigners, These trainers are super comfortable and they look sexy as fuck. They don't have laces in the front, although you can do laces if you want to, but they tie up actually at the side. The material is sublime. The colorway, extraordinary. They're so comfortable. They're actually handmade. These are handmade trainers. You don't see handmade trainers in 2021. It's a very rare thing to have handmade trainers in production. Yeah, so these are just, I just want to wear these for the rest of my life, and I suggest that you check these out. The tongue is a little bit padded, as you can see. It's the big logo on the front. These are hectic. If you want something different, you want something new to try, legit criminal, legit criminal, legit criminal.
So wait, you put them girls title, put that in the sweet charts.
Yeah, you know, that's what I'm saying. That's literally the timeline. If I wanted to fuck you, man.
No!
Fucked him already. You know what I mean?
I don't even know what the girls are.
Because you're saying you didn't. Let's do real talk. On. So girls, a question I think you lot can probably help with more than even prisoners. Like you come from a more civilian background than so, say some of the people we've had on the podcast so far. How do you find prison different from the perception you had before you went in for like the movies and what you've been told about prison?
It's the same.
You thought it was exactly the same?
It is the same.
I went to the thingy job, you did it, not London job. It is, but it's
It was
not.
London job.
No, sometimes.
Yeah, it's in London.
Oh, well, I mean private job to a thingy job.
Oh yeah.
I feel like, not always, because people think every day you're getting it cracking and there's don't get me wrong, there's violence. But
Every other day.
Yeah, every other day. But they're talking like every day you're getting it cracking, or this is going on, or that's going on. Some days you have chilled days.
Like Sundays are very chilled. Everyone's calm on Sundays.
Yeah, like I've had chilled days, I can't lie, where I go to work, I'm happy, I leave and I'm fine, and there's no incidents, the bell's not ringing.
I mean, I always say that prison's like a really weird place and that nothing can happen for 6 months. And then just to the click of a button.
What job?
Not for 6 months.
6 months? What's the excess? Let me go there.
No, but you know what? When you go to a different category job, I know you lot worked in like BCAT locals, which are notoriously violent. But when you go to places like BCAT centres and ACATs, so I've been to ACATs.
Okay,
ACATs, everyone's got life and needs to go home, and there might not be an incident.
They're not going.
Well, they're trying to progress through the system because you don't do an ACAT.
That's the only reason why though.
There might not, yeah, of course it's the only reason why, but I mean, like, there might not be an incident for, like, say, 6 weeks, 2 months. But then when it kicks, it will kick off in a millisecond, and it might go on for 6 weeks as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just up and down
Back
the
to
job.
back, yeah. But that's because they got different reasons, isn't it? In BCAT jails, it's either just come there, they don't give a fuck, like they're on the high. Yeah. If you're in a DCAT or like you're a lifer, you're a bit more calm. Like you're not on all that hype. You're not really doing all that stuff. But if you're a DCAT, you're trying to go home. You're not trying to get in trouble.
Yeah.
Like so, it's mainly DCAT jails that are active like that. He agrees.
What do you want to say?
Should we get his bottle? Or was he?
What do you want to say? What is this?
Wow, that violence in prison and all that. Have you two ever been scared?
Scared? Caught off guard. Maybe. Might be the right word.
Tell me about that. If you remember the situation.
I think it was just a fight that I've had to kind of intervene, but I found myself in the middle of it all, and there was no subs around.
Yeah.
There were no subs, there was none, and I literally rushed to it, and I was like, oh shit. Like,
Did you rush to it without thinking about it?
yeah, because it was just my initial thought to just jump in kind of thing, and I thought, oh, like there's actually no one around. They're flinging weapons, and
So you have to like
it's just like they tell you to wait until other members of staff come. But if you're seeing someone get thumped up and it's just like, what, I just have to just stand there and just watch you and just
literally
stand back and not do nothing, it's just like, wow. Yeah, I wouldn't say I was scared, I was more shocked if anything. Yeah, I was more shocked.
We always laugh when you see those staff members when they're on their own and the fight kicks off. Some of them be start running in the other direction. Like I've literally, I remember one time I was in the old Huntington before it turned violent, before it turned immigration, sorry. And we was on our landings and we were having a fight, and I remember throwing a punch and seeing an officer in their black and white uniform just run through the middle of us.
and then we threw another punch, and I saw another one just run through the middle, and they went off the landing and closed the gate because they just didn't want no problems on that day. You know what I mean? It's always so crazy. You never seen that happen in that situation?
Like the officers are running away.
I haven't seen them never come. I've never seen them run away. I've just never seen them or take their time to come.
I've seen
them take their time.
I mean,
the officers on the wing, because there's always again that one officer that's just a problem maker.
Yeah.
When you've got that problem maker on your wing, what's the kind of the conversation between the staff when the bell goes off and you know it's probably him or her again? Are they all kind of like gang, like let's go help her out, or they kind of like, oh my god, again, let's just take our time a little bit?
No, private jails. Thameside is a bit more, as well, it's not as big. It's big, but the landings are not open. So I know in H&P jail, you can see from 1 to 4. In Thameside, it's cut off a bit. So you got 1 and 2, then 3 and 4. So it's just concrete. So you're not, it's more like intimate, so it's easy for everyone to just run to one particular space and deal with the isolated situation. I wouldn't say I was ever scared, but I was just conscious of the ones with mental health issues, because they are erratic, and you see when they are mad, different strength. Whoever thinks they got strength from your life,
Especially when they're on the hooch as well.
chat to a guy that's got mental health.
The alcohol.
Sorry, alcohol.
Yeah,
Well,
prison alcohol.
really, it's gone off fruit.
Fermented fruit.
Fermented fruit.
Yeah. Or when they got their blades, that's when I would say I was a bit like, when they had the blades.
Any weapon, yeah. But I wouldn't even get it. When I see certain weapons, I leave it for the main guards to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
So is there not any kind of, so when you have got that staff member who's the problem maker, there isn't any kind of discussion between us? Do you not even know that that's what the staff member is?
Yeah, I did.
What problem maker?
Yeah, because there's always that one person.
You have to.
They come on the wing and just cause chaos in you.
You now analyse your position on the wing that day. So if you know that there's a guy that's always active like that and they like to do all them things, you try to keep it as mellow as possible for the day, so that nothing really kicks up like that. So even if it's kicking off, it's on another land, it's not your wing. Like your wing's calm. You see when your wing starts to get long, and no one wants to bang up now, everyone's upset. Now they're not banging up until this happens, and
After showers or miss this person's out and they just get
long.
Yeah. So, okay, so how long did you say you did in job? You didn't.
We done 1 year. 2 years, do one.
Just over like a year and a half, 2 years.
A year and a half. Did you go to one prison?
Yeah, I worked in one prison. Yeah.
What prison was that? Wandsworth.
Yeah.
Wandsworth. And you did.
Thameside. Even though like Thameside and like ISIS, because Thameside burned off from ISIS for one time. Yeah. So sometimes Thameside would go into ISIS. I didn't ever go into ISIS, but
So, tell me your story.
With the whole story?
I mean, let's just see where it goes.
I tell the truth, nothing but the truth.
Okay. I started on my birthday actually.
Wow.
Yeah. And what do you want the story from when I not the training, actually going into jail?
I mean, start where you feel is appropriate.
Okay. I'll start from when I first touched down in the jail. As I said, on my birthday, I remember being in there, it was calm, had a couple of rude inmates telling me to open my fucking door and all the being rude, unnecessary stuff. I had the nice ones, I had the ones trying to move to me, I had the ones that just, like the elderly lot that were just caring. But because I was new, I was trying to get a feel of like all the prisoners at the same time. Fast forward a little bit, I can't, like in the first month, I was like, I can't do this job. I was like, this job is a myth, only because of the staff. Like, I went for, in the beginning I was going for a little bit of a hard time, I was like, I can't do this job. And then, as I grew towards the prisoners, I was like, no, this job's actually calm, like, bro, come be, make your money. Like I said, overtime was £22 an hour. So, it was calm.
To work.
And the shift pattern was calm. Like sometimes I start at 6:30, I was done by 12:30. I got the rest of the day to do what I wanted. Like I think the latest I finished is about 9, kind of thing. It was quite far from where I lived, but like I said, it was bread. I was out for a little bit because I had an accident. So then a couple of months I was out because of my knee. And then when I come
Is
back,
that a work-related injury or not?
basketball.
Okay.
Yeah. So then when I came back, all the prisoners like, raw miss. All the prisoners like, raw miss, like, we thought you were pregnant, we thought you got sacked, like, da. They put me in property. So then I was like,
So for anyone who doesn't know what property is, they left you basically reception area.
yeah, so I was dealing with like everyone's property that comes in, like on the gate. And then, so then everyone loved me. Because I was literally giving everyone their property. But those that haven't been to jail, you know it's tight getting your stuff.
Oh my goodness. One of the biggest stresses in jail.
I was literally the queen. I was literally going around to everyone's room, handing out everything they wanted. Like,
Can I just say something, yeah? Just to touch on that, it's always the little things that go so far in jail. Because just like that, I used to give out letters. I used to make it a thing to give out letters when I, like, on Tuesday, like the first half of the day, and before I go home, I used to make sure everyone would get letters. Because you know you get letters twice in the day, and you get the first set of posts and the second. So I will make sure that all the prisoners will get the post for the day, because there'll be times I go in the office, there's bare posts. I'm like, someone's auntie, mum, could be writing.
But you know how annoying it is when you're waiting on a letter from your chick, and you already psychologically realise it's coming in on Tuesday and it's Thursday, and you know it's probably in the
I
office.
think that's one of the first things that made me realize it from people, because I remember someone came up to me and goes, you know, no one really gives a fuck about giving out letters, and I just made it a thing. But sorry, you from me out. Sorry.
Yeah, so I was basically telling my close kids, everyone in property, didn't mind. I felt like I made the whole job happy. They were like, Miss, can you thank you this, thank you that. And it felt nice that I was actually helping someone. I was making their life in there easier.
It's only a little thing, and some staff members get so powerful with it. Like, this is not just one extra pair of socks. Like, it's not that deep.
And that's exactly what happened.
Like, I paid for them. Like, you ain't got worried. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So then it got to a point where they moved me from property because they realised I've given them their stuff. Yeah, so they moved me from property, and then got to a point of coming back onto the wing. And then what happened? Then all the allegations started, allegedly.
The allegations.
The allegations started. I'm calling the prisoners. Why can I calm the angry prisoners down? Why is it that I'm busting them for their showers and then they're getting banged up? And my thing was, are they away behind their door right now? Yeah, so then what's the problem? You know, you got some prisoners that might run around the landing. If I'm coming, they go from door to door to door to door before bang up. With me, it was literally, if I'm coming, let me just quickly do one thing. I'm like, bang, do your thing.
But again, talking about respect and the little things for staff, when you've got that staff member that you know, I can press my bell, and if I really need to do something right now, I'm not supposed to be out, I really need to do something, I can press my bell, know you're going to come and let me go run down the landing and just grab my little tin of tuna or mackerel.
Obviously not all the time, obviously after certain times, at the same time it's safety measures, isn't it? Because at the same time I trust you, at the same time I don't trust you, just in case it might be that odd time, you might have had a mad phone call in the daytime, and you just thought, let me just pack, let me get out, and then that's you not banging up, then I'm in trouble.
And the real thing about
it,
like I said, you have to remember that this is jail.
This is jail.
Right, regardless of what you think and how much you might think I'm cool. Like,
Don't step over, step back.
No, that's what I'm saying, we respect it, because if I know I can press my bell and say to you, yo, miss, I really need to go get this right now, and you're going to let me go out. That day when you say to me, listen,
bang up,
or it's mad out here, I have to respect it.
Yeah.
Just got that option,
you can't go out, I'll go do it. Like, make it work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so then it got to a point where I was having like meetings and stuff, like this IR was getting put in, that IR was getting put in. And by then, I was so calm, like I wasn't talking to no prisoners like that or nothing like that. And it made me just feel like, do you know what, like, fuck you lot kind of thing, because you lot are not even, like, you're putting allegations and it's frustrating me now. Like, yeah, you're making me feel like, okay, you're too hood, or you're from the roads, or like, yeah, like I shouldn't look the way I should look, or like in jail, I mean, there wasn't that many females that had body or anything like that. So it made me feel a bit like insecure kind of at the same time. It might sound stupid, but when you're being singled out, it's not cool.
Especially when you're doing your job as well. When you're actually doing your job,
it's like,
and you're doing your job well, like I'm doing shit that you don't even do. Like,
like little things, and certain times I'm running the whole landing by myself, or like Little things like that, there should be way more staff. I'm a female at that. Anything can happen to me. I would get
What's the ratio supposed to be?
4
To
to
a per wing.
in my one, they need at least 6, 7, 8 staff.
Yeah, 'cause
Sometimes
those
only
schools
one
are
or
massive.
two. Yeah, sometimes it's only me, 1 or 2 other staff members running the whole of the landing.
How many people are on that landing?
Over 100. There's 4 different things on each side. 25 cells, 2 in each cell.
So you got 100 people in their cell that like pressing their bells.
Yeah, and you're having to run up and down. And it's a lot. I be wrong. So
And
I'm
because they're
just
short staffed, but the thing is, they still have a jail to run. Do you understand? So if you're short staffed, there's a way that you can run the jail if you're short staffed. So there's just, at no time should any guard be on the landing by themselves. Or even with 2 people, do you know how mad it is? If you let out that whole wing, there's only 2 of you. When that kicks off, if my wing's short of staff, other wings are short of staff. Something kicks off from my wing, we're dragging them guards from their wings to come hit. It's just chaos. That's when it gets like right, yeah. And that's why the violence gets so, because as well, prisoners know what guards they can take the piss with. They know what guards they will just violate and punch in their face and don't care. Like, not again, not me. Not me, because it's just a job, you know. We can all get it cracking, but
She said he's having a tear. I know she had the kosh out. So mad. That was it.
you know what's so mad? Yeah? Because I'm slim as well, everyone tried to violate. Everyone tried to think that I was gonna be that girl that they could just nab in this up. No, I'll go mad.
So I can tell what type of officer you were already.
Which was what?
So you know, boys, tell me if you don't agree, right? She was that officer that she was mad cool with some of the guys. But if she didn't like you, your life was hell.
that was.
Right? She's gonna be rude as fuck. You're gonna get nicking after nicking.
No, I didn't give
I won't open the door. That's it. Really, I won't open the door.
That's what I mean, like your life is not gonna work like that.
It won't be as smooth.
You know that woman, you know the girl kissing her teeth at you, you just wanna just...
Until you apologise, like, that's it. But I wouldn't have to make it like hell.
You just seem like someone asks you for tissue, like not getting
Well,
that.
she said it already, the guy didn't shit, so
Don't get
I'm not saying you're cruel, I'm saying you were just...
So as long as I got respect, it was always given. But again,
I respect that.
like, you know, you have to have a certain stature in jail anyway, because if you're too timid, they take the piss on it. And if you're too peaky listening to all the compliments they're giving you, next minute is, okay, so are you gonna run me a pack, or are you gonna... So you have to let them know that whether it's real or not. Like, I pretended so much, now that it's stuck with me, it's real now. It's real now. Like, that energy was almost not real for so long. I never used to be like that. When I went to jail, I had to be a bit like, you know.
So you feel like jail changes, because it changes people, changes people, feel like it changes you as well.
I feel like I could buy anyone.
How did it change you?
I feel like it was just always in you. If anything, I feel like it was just always in you. You just maybe working in jail, it maybe just brought it out of you a little bit. Like, kind of, I feel like that's what it is. I don't feel like it changed. Well, it didn't change. I don't think it changed me. I feel like it's always in me, but being put in certain situations, that's what brought it out of me, if anything, or made me realise, raw, this is what's this and that's what's that, and this is a real life that we're living right now, kind of thing. So
it changed me with my perception on guys. Now, like when guys approach me in that way, because I got the heavy influx of compliments and numbers and letters getting written and love you, still can't love you no more. I'm coming out next week, yeah, and all of that, yeah. Now, when guys talk to me, it's like in one ear out the other, unfortunately.
I feel like, in that aspect,
Confidence is like nothing now.
You just waffle, any line.
It's lies, like, I know you want me to bring you up, but I ain't got to do all that. Like, just say it.
I think you need to bring me up.
Exactly, like, you're telling me, this time,
cut to the chase, like, what do you want to what is it?
It's like, guys will be like,
you can't just jump back straight into that phone conversation, though, because I don't know if you don't get on like that, and I'm like,
but that's
that's down the block.
Remember
you have to build that rapport, so I have to trust you, not to be able to say, because I have to really trust you to say to you.
Do you know how much that is in my fault? So do you remember? I remember you saying that, like it was your mentality that got you through jail. Yeah. I feel like as well for us girls, especially female girls, our mentality that gets us through. Because imagine like we weren't through jail and every little compliment that swung our way was maybe you'd be confused. Like,
But there's
just
women
guys
in jail
using
like that
it.
though, right?
Huh?
There's guys in jail like that. I mean,
Like
there's
what?
women in jail like that though.
No,
You
no.
are completely confused and get swayed by
Oh
the
yeah,
shit.
yeah. That's what everything. It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy because it's so heavy.
I
It's
see.
so
You
heavy.
gotta love.
Girls
You
want
gotta love it on the day. Tell me if I'm wrong again, boys. I don't know if you've ever done this on the day when you have a little sweet conversation with a little pretty officer, and then the next day she comes in and her trousers are way tighter, full face of makeup, and it's like, yeah, you've got one on the hook now. Do you know what I mean?
Did any of you get emotionally attached to any of your inmates?
Yeah. What when you say emotionally? Yeah.
Like with that?
Yeah, too quick.
She said, yeah,
I'm thinking tell me a story. Like, did you actually end up like catching feelings for like an inmate?
No comment.
Before we go there,
Oh,
let's just carry on with our story.
sorry.
Yeah.
What story? My
And then
story.
EastEnders say,
Oh, mine kind of goes into her question.
yeah, exactly. That's my point.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Where was that anyway?
Apart from her question.
So you were telling us about anybody remember the room?
Prop, like you were doing
Prop, you were doing prop, you were taking off property,
Got past that,
and then you fought.
Okay, yeah, full packet, and then so then that's kind of went into your question. It was more of I was pissed off. Like I had a couple inmates in there that I would like say, oh, this is what's happening or that's what's happening, and I brought a proper rapport with them, especially one person in there, and it was a thing where anytime like sometimes my mouth would get me into trouble at bureau. Same guys telling me smack my mum and I'll go straight to that prisoner and sort him out, literally. And it got to a situation where he got down to a point he was ordering me noodles off the canteen sheet, like. One day I was hungry that
I've had staff that told me.
I'm trying to eat like bust me on one noodles or something, and I was
I used to have staff that like used to tell me don't cook if you're not cooking for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I had staff
put my container aside.
I'll come in and be like, "Give me your tea and your biscuits." I'm like,
yeah, they used to tell me, they used to like give me noodles and whatnot. Like then one time it would be like 20 noodles of the canteen sheet.
That's a statement, right?
When he just took a hacker.
And then so then from there like we were just kicking it whatever, and I was a bit wary because obviously I was a guard, he was an inmate, the rules and whatnot. And it got to a point where, you know, when you're not even, I didn't even feel like I was in a jail anymore. Like, I didn't even feel like, oh my gosh, you're a prisoner, I'm a guard. We're not even meant to be talking or nothing. Like, we literally built up a proper friendship. In the beginning, it was, we didn't like each other, we hated each other, like, he was rude. And then we realized we had mutual friends. And then, after one time, you know, because we know the same people, so I'll bang up for you. And it kind of started from there. Started talking about like power, started talking about just different box sets and everything. And then after we did get close. Talking on the phone, it got that deep, like started talking on the phone.
So before you say talking on the phone, because that's quite a jump.
Yeah.
And I always find giving an officer my number is a very intimidating thing for me as a prisoner, must be as an officer. So how did that conversation go, and how did what was your thought process, and how did you get the number?
It was more of give me a snap, and I was like no. Like, just give me a snap, and I was like no. And I think one time, how it happened was it went around the whole of the jail. When I first started, this was when Carnival happened. I think that same weekend, innit? I go Carnival now. When I go Carnival, I wear all my Carnival outfits. I think I was even in a bikini and something over it. Have to come up on Link Up TV, interview, whatever. I went around the whole job. I missed these on Link Up. Don't make me remember and then that's another conversation that happened. Literally, I thought I was gonna get sacked because at the time I didn't know. I was a bit like pregnant. Shut up! Stop saying that. I was on TV. Stop saying that kind of thing. And then so then that conversation come about, and then we literally just asked for my snap. I said no. Asked for snap, and I think it got like a month down the line. I was like, yeah, fuck it, take it, whatever. And then he shouted me on Snap, and I was like, no, I can't even chat to you, I can't
Did he
chat
shout
to
you the same thing?
I think it was like the same day he shouted me or something, yeah. And I was being very standoffish, because I was like, what's going on here? Then, I think I went on holiday, come back, got the number somehow, I can't remember how I got the number. And we just started talking like day-to-day life, about day-to-day things.
So it didn't straight away go into...
It wasn't nothing like, bring me this or bring me that. No, we literally started off just chatting on the normal, like I said, talking about power, just talking about like different garbs.
Were you
talking
flirting?
about-
Was it sexual?
Nah, in the beginning, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Nothing like everyone else. I'll say on the wing tries to read to me, but this one person.
Okay.
And then
Did that make him different?
yeah, because
Stand out.
I'll be real. Yeah, because 9 times out of 10, I'll always go for the person that's not moving to me.
Literally.
Literally, I don't know what it is. I don't know, because I feel like you're all trying to run games. So then the one person, I feel like, okay, you're not trying to run game, and then they end up getting you, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, it literally went from a mad, like you said, a mad jump, whatever, and then eventually, then feelings started happening.
How long afterwards was that?
I can't even remember, you know. But at the time, it's weird because this person was on visits with another female, and at the that comes down to the whole. He was on visits with a female, but obviously at the time, he's telling me, nah, she's just running in pack, whatever, innit, cool.
These times on the list, it's listed as girlfriend. But
No, it was even friend. It was not. Well, I didn't say
I
it was
list
friend.
everybody on my list as friends.
It was friend.
Yeah.
But then I was like, okay.
Cousins, uncle, girlfriend, everybody's a friend.
Friend, innit? Yeah. But you know,
Love
looking
to get
back
next to
now,
each other.
looking back now, I feel like,
on the list.
looking back now to the clocks, like, it's definitely your thing, like, because you got to say. But at the time, he was like, no, man, it's not my thing.
But then actually, that brings another question, because it's another thing I've gone through. So, did you go to, because to know that he had a girl visiting, you would either have to see him on a visit,
Yeah,
or go and
so
check
then-
his system.
so
Did you
then
check
that-
his system to see who was on there?
No, they didn't do that. That day they put me on visits.
Okay.
And I had to come and collect him and take him to the visit. And I remember walking past, and I think they made a comment, like, about, oh, that's the type of girl that's working here, or something along those lines. Like, it's like they were not wanting scared, they were more like, Ross, where are them type of girls that work here around my man kind of thing. And it was a situation like, at the time it definitely wasn't that. I think I was about to joke. And then, yeah, it literally went from one thing to another, next thing you know.
No, but tell us, we want to know. We need to. We don't want the summary. We just want to understand. We understand the build up and what happened and how. Because I think a lot of people won't really understand.
I don't feel like, even still me explaining it, I still don't feel like I don't understand it.
Do you know why? Because until you're in that environment, you will never understand.
You will never understand it.
People have to remember, yeah, this is a combined, a very intimate
Every
setting.
day, every
I'm
day.
going to this person's, let's say, house
every day.
They see me when they
And
wake
it's
up.
hours, you know.
Before they,
Yeah,
I'm the
hours.
last thing they see, the first thing they wake up to, yeah. Same with me. If I'm waking up, going to work, the first thing I'm looking at, last thing that I'm, do you know what I mean? Whatever goes on in that day, it's still like work. They say, oh, I leave work at home and work and da 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 da. But you can't leave
You
work
don't
at
for
home.
sure.
Yeah, like you end up dreaming, having certain dreams, and not
About what?
then have a dream. But you're still like now things are just like because you're with these people every day. Like there's times when you dreamt like your friend. Do you know what I mean?
Hold on, that's actually a really legit question though. You ever had a sex dream about a prisoner?
No, that's even funny. But that's even funny. No, I haven't had a sex dream, but I've had dreams.
And it's kind of like banging them up and all of that. Just chasing them.
Yeah, or it'll be weird dreams. Like, you know, you're just having a random dream and you're just getting stuck in the ditch and then it's a prison that's there. It's weird dreams and they're in there. And it's just like, why am I thinking about that? I want to think about you, but you're in my dream. Like, they have to understand that if you're in a confined environment, like you said, we're human.
Yeah.
If they're attracted to you, or I'm attracted to that particular person, because I'm gonna keep it so 100. Then everyone in jail is not dead.
I mean, you gotta look past their haircuts and that.
Yeah. But just past their haircuts, like they're not dead. So someone's gonna like tickle your little
There will be
eye,
one
like-
that, there will be.
And any girl that tells you that they found no one attractive is lying. They're all liars.
That's what
They're all
happened.
liars.
Yeah.
Do you see prisoners trying to flex with you, like come out of the cell
All
with
the
top off
time,
or-
shower,
Gym.
That's what I used to do in the shower.
I used to hate standing by the shower. Or when they talking to the gym, they'll be doing their small sex. When they're talking,
Bro, they will come back from gym, yeah, and they will walk from the gym to the landing, yeah, in their top. See, as soon as they bust through the door on the wing, tops are backing off. Everyone's shouting, and it's like, yeah, man, yeah, it's going on. Just causing. I was like, yeah.
What, do you just think they're dickheads though?
No, I find it funny. Yeah, I find it funny.
Do you so what about when you're at the shower? Because I've been in the shower so many times. I find it really weird and really like sex pestish. When you're in the showers and you hear guys talking about watch your wrist come down, I'm not sure my hood. And it happens all the time. And I'm just like, it's half nonsense. It's like you're half a nonsense when you're being that.
Please, I have a story to share. Please, share this story, please. One of my brethren, fucking way.
It's a long story because it is you got to come with
it's short. Yeah. One of my brethren, basically, you see when they search you, they search your waistband.
Yeah.
So he's had a boner. He's folded it into his waistband, on a mad thing. I've seen it. She's done this. And then she see that it's his thing.
She pressed the bell. She pressed the bell in it. The same thing happened to me though, actually. Literally the same thing happened.
That's how that's rape. You ain't done nothing.
That's
it didn't happen like that, but the same thing happened to me in Ellsbury, right? When I was they took me to the block in Ellsbury, and if anyone doesn't know the block, it's a segregation unit, there's no TVs, there's no nothing. So I went to sleep, and when I woke up my dick hard. And they come to bust your door to take you for your trial, as they put in your adjudication. But they have to search you every time you go into the room. But it wasn't a woman, it was a man. So he's an old white guy, and he's come, and I just put my dick to the side. I mean, you can't hold him wait when you're going into the room. It's not how it works. He's patting me down, grabbed my dick, and he went, "What's that?" And I went, "It's my dick." And he went, "Oh." And it was the most awkward moment, and you have to cut, like it gets like that. But I'm saying genuinely though, like when you see those guys blatantly showing you their dicks just for the sake of it, like
that don't happen. I don't look down.
That's never happened to you.
I mean, it's happened, but it's not. It doesn't happen in the way you just.
The way you say it, I don't really look down. I look them straight out.
And when I'm patting
No, I'm saying so you don't go to the showers and see guys.
No, I'm open the door like, hurry up.
No, I mean, Thameside is different. So they have showers in their cells, yeah. So it's a bit more techy. Yeah. So when we bust the doors, like you're always seeing the wood in your face, like. And you know, in the morning times you have to do welfare checks. Worst times to do welfare checks because everyone's either just jumping in the shower or just jumping out, or they just walk out with no towel. I stopped doing it anyway because.
I mean, I don't do that. I've never done that. I've never been in my cell naked and forgot to cover my flat, and that's why I hear the conversations all the time where the guys are like, "I'm gonna make her see my kind of thing." I just thought it's just.
I hear them
I used to bring my keys so they'll know that I'm by the door or something.
I had one doing all the time in the night, and then I sent Mengov to his doctor and they locked off his water. And he was pissed. So, do you know on the night time we used to do the night count? Yeah. He always, like you said, we learned our shifts in it, so he knew that it was me and another female guy walking around. So, because he was short, he would stand on something, so he's really like flat. So, when I checked count, I'm looking at straight dick. Yeah, and he done it twice. I said, cool, this guy does it the third night. I'm sending things to him. So, he did it. So, it's like, alright, cool. So I called one of the men guards here and I was like, look, he's going to have it out, I promise you. And he's like, for real? And he's like, yeah. So going around. Me and the girl went around on one side and we sent him on the other side. So when he got to his door, he had it. What? Electric, lock off, water, lock off, for the whole night.
Yeah, good.
And then he got nipped in the morning. Not my business.
As he should, I think it's a nonsense.
So that's a bit new, that's weird to me.
It's weird as fuck.
Weird.
But yeah, so we interrupted your story.
Again.
As we did.
Where was I?
So emotions started to get involved and we were asking how did you get to that stage that we really wanted to slow on.
Oh, I think you touched base on it, like we was literally together every day, worked on the same wing. It got to a point we was even playing pool together. I was literally banging Xbox with him. Like I swear, no, I was literally doing that. Literally kind of thing, do you understand? So it got to a point where he was helping me, like all my situations as well. I even think one time, the wing, this is what I was touching base on when I said that the staff don't help. They even, one guy that did not like me, like, I can't remember why he didn't like me, or what happened, or he didn't. He just thought he would be rude. I don't take kindly to rudeness, you get it? So it was a situation where he was rude, I banged him up, told him not to come back out. He organised everyone to put shit on me.
I was gonna ask you if you got there a bit shitted up.
No, okay, no, but he organised it. Like, he organised it. This is what I said. Some of the other inmates showed me. I went to my man panned it. Boom, boom, boom. Cut long story short, that couldn't run. Like, other situations.
So how did you find out that he was trying to put a hit on you?
Because of the other inmates. I was cool. I was always cool with, so they came to me and they said, right, you know so and so, swear down, man. Flew straight to my man patterned it, and then, yeah, that was it. Kind of had a couple other little whatever, he sorted that out, or I spoke to them, got sorry, end of conversation. So that within itself, I was like, yeah, I can kind of trust him. And then things got more intense, so like my birthday, for example, like, I got flowers.
20 noodles.
I got that anyway. But like, he ordered flowers to my house. Like, you know, he was doing things that guys weren't even doing on road. That's what was like, you know what?
That's what it's done.
And I've been out here for how long, and no one guy can pat me on one little. And I'm a type of female. I don't need much. I don't want nothing from no man. There's not one man that can tell you out there that, right, I've done this for her, I've done that for her. But one little flower, I was like, I was so appreciative of the flower. Girls might look and be like, is that it? Flowers. No, but to me, I get everything on my own. So for you to come and give me flowers just for my birthday, you're inside jail. Safe. So then one time we did it like every day for a week. Bro, you're in jail. How are you doing this kind of thing? Do you get? Why are you clapping that?
You sit there, be quiet, mate. Done well, bro.
Yeah.
You did well.
And then, then we got talking. Then we ended up in a relationship, basically. Yeah, for real.
No. There's two questions I want to ask on that. Okay. Number one is, what was it like having this illicit relationship behind everyone's back, and then coming to a wing in the morning and seeing that person? Because you might talk more than you talk to other prisoners, but you have to keep it very much boundaries.
It was very hard, I won't lie, because I think prisons kind of clocked on that, like, yeah.
Of course.
In my head, I thought that it was toned down, but maybe, then again,
nothing's toned down.
They're chatty patties anyway, so he probably chat up it about anyway, like, oh, you know, I got that,
yeah.
Cool. Whatever happened, whatever. But it was a situation where, now looking back, it's like, raw, swear down. Like, how did that even come about? Like, everyone was like, oh, you know, when he comes out, he's just gonna leave and he's just gonna cut, and I was getting all the talk in my ears,
So what people really knew about this, like the family or friends knew?
No, family didn't know. I think one friend at the time, I think that she knew. Another person in there knew as well.
What, prisoner or prison officer?
Officer. And then, a couple of the inmates, I think, had an idea. But they thought I was running packs. That's what they thought. Like, when I was running packs, it was literally a relationship. Like, he never asked me to bring in anything. Do you get it? So, other inmates, they have. But he never asked me to bring in anything.
So we're not going to talk about dates and times or anything incriminating. But in the generic sense, before or after that, were you intimate to each other? Did you kiss? Did you have sex?
No, we kissed or whatever. Didn't get into the sex thing or nothing. Although there was allegations to say that we did. So the normal hug or whatever. Nothing where I went into his cell or nothing like that. It was more when you have to check your spend and you know them kind of things like that. Like on a runaway kind of thing. But it was nothing like that. It was always on the phone. Literally, I would go home on the phone, come to it on the phone, break on the phone. Literally, that's all I knew. That's why I said my head kind of just took me. Like I didn't know that I was even in the jail kind of thing. So, and when I was semi-young. I wasn't young. I knew what I was doing at the same time. But where as staff as well, I wasn't coordinating with them or nothing like that. And I felt safe with this person. With anything. And it wasn't just him. There was like a group of them at the same time. Now even today, I'm still cool with them. Kind of thing. Like I do security with them and all of these things. Like I met some good people in the jailhouse. Like one thing led to another. I don't know how to jump, but this is why he's here.
Oh my god. I mean, round of applause for that. High five.
You're kind of shy.
We'll do the high five now.
Hey!
Happy for you.
So...
Is he out?
Is he out now?
Yeah.
Let's continue with the story and see where it kind of goes.
Yeah, so then got to a point where what happened?
So how long was that guy doing?
I think he got like 7 or 8 them time.
And at the time you met him, how long did you have left?
Like, I think a year. A year left? No, as a listener. More. He had like 2 and a bit, 2.5, I think, left to do. Yeah, he had 2.5 left to do. And then then it got to a point where what happened? Allegedly, they were saying I was bringing in things, and then I got arrested.
But she seems so kind.
So you got arrested?
I got arrested.
So wait, hold on.
Over the kind of words.
So what happened immediately before you get arrested, and what situation led to them believing? So I mean, for you to get arrested, they have to have some level of evidence to say something
Yeah, so
happened.
someone said that, so basically when I had my accident, I had a lot of pills on me.
Okay.
For my leg. I was saying I need to have an operation. So I've stepped in the jail with all my tablets, basically. Not putting steroids to build back my knee. They said that I was passing on to someone, but they stopped me before they said that I could pass it to anybody. They're trying to put 2 and 2 together. Because I stepped on the wing, on the landing, spoke to one person, then that person, when I spoke to my guy, they're trying to connect the dots.
Okay.
Yeah, so straight away they were like, yeah, you're bringing it in for him. They arrested me, no, they put me aside, whatever.
So what was that moment like? That must be like life changing.
I can't lie, I was like, what the hell's going on? Like, I can't lie, my heart was definitely beating.
So what did they do? Did they kind of like, you said you got stopped on the way into the job?
Yeah, so they searched me, they let me go onto the landing, like, because they didn't know what it was, they had to do their research.
Yeah.
Then all the guards, they come and got me after that, security, like, oh, let's go have a chat.
So they just come to the wing, did they shut down the wing, did they call you?
Nah, they literally just come to the wing, got me, they're like, bro, get your stuff, took me to the office, I walked in, there's about 6-7 guards in there, all quiet, I'm just like, whatever. Cut out now, taking me to the room, put me aside, and then when I'm in the room now, I've seen all the tablets in the evidence bag. And I remember saying to myself, blood, like, I need to go to the toilet. I'm thinking, blood, should I flush this? So there's no evidence, but I couldn't, my head's literally doing 101 million things, I'm sitting down. They're being nice at the same time, do you get it?
That's what
That they're being nice to me, and I'm just like, okay, then the other person's there, like, technically they can't hold you in it, like, they can't, like, walk out. When you see a Joe, that's to buzz you out. You can't walk out. So even if I get downstairs, just across the gate, they still got to buzz me, and they're not gonna do that. So I was like, no, let me kick back. Got into, they arrested me. Now put me in the back of the van. Obviously from his side, I'm hearing that they said, you've got her, like, we know she's been bringing in stuff, and he's like, what are you talking about, kind of thing. Gone to the station, asked me all the questions, no comment.
Did they put you in cuffs?
Yeah, no, they put me in cuffs. They had me in cuffs in the back of the van. I was like, wow, like, it literally just flashed before my eyes. I was like, I can't ever believe this is happening. And like, it brought me back to a realization, like, what the hell is going on? Like, you was actually an officer and he was actually a thing, but shit, it is what it is, and I've got a lesson. So, yeah, put me back in the van, asked me all the questions, no comment. I was like, bro, like, am I going to jail today? Like, that was, like, am I ever going to be outside again? All these ones, you see when you're in the cells, oh my, 101 million questions go through your head. Like, I'm seeing writing on the wall, I'm like,
you see the crime stoppers?
Listen, yeah, crime, oh my
God,
days.
the crime stoppers on the ceiling.
Yeah, like, 101 questions was going through my head. And then yeah, they let me go.
So, just before that one, while you're in the cell, actually you might even be telling me straight afterwards, what did were you kind of scared of your family and friends' reaction?
Did I think about my family and friends? I was thinking about myself. I was just thinking, I can't go to jail. I'm not going me jail? No. I was literally like, I can't go to jail. I cannot go to jail. Under no circumstances. And then I remember going home to my mum's house, and then I can't lie, I was actually upset. I was like, how has this happened? Like, I was more like, because the whole time I had on a brave face. The minute I got into my mum's house, I just let it all out. I was like, wow, yeah, I was like, how is this happening? Because my whole life, I've been patterned, I've got myself into a good job, like, anything I've learned, I've done off my own back. None of my family, it's literally just been me, my driving, my jobs, my money, everything. No guy can tell me, well, I did this for you, not one guy out there. So it's like,
how did I make this mistake? To get it kind
Well,
of
you
thing.
should do a round of applause for that.
How did I make this mistake, innit? But because I've never really made mistakes like that, this mistake hit hard. And then I was just like, do you know what? I think about, not even a week, you know, I think a couple days of me just like, and I remember they had my car in it, they searched my whole car, my car was outside the jail, and I couldn't get to my car, so my brethren, don't want to say his name, he had to go get my car for me, come live in my car after, all these things, because I got a new plate, they were saying, yeah, it has to be that, it has to be that. Yeah, like little things, like you was in this car, now you're in a brand new Audi, whatever, and I was just like, whatever, kind of thing. But they even
with me as well. And when I was in training, I was in one car, and then by the time I started the job, I was in the next car, and it was that fake car, and they're like, I'm like, if I done that in training before, you don't pay me, why do you not think that? Do you know what I mean?
And then after that, now even like little things, like even in the evidence bag, they had my Magnum bottles. Like, oh, should bring alcohol now? I know, and they was in my car. Like little things, and I thought after a week of me just saying, oh my god, I got right back up. Within the space of a week, I got another 3 jobs. I was like, I can't let it affect me. I was on release under investigation for like a whole year.
I feel like we just got to give you so many cuts right now. Back quick to that. You have to rate it. We're not just to find anything that happened, but I mean, we have to rate the comeback, the elasticity.
You know what it is? I'll be like, everyone makes mistakes, but I literally said, you know what, I got myself back up again, got another 3 jobs, whatever, and still supporting my family.
Just to add to that, I know all the trolls are going to come and say what they're going to say, but no one understands until you're in there, no one understands the pressure you're under from prisoners and staff. So she got driven into that. She got into a don't care attitude, like she gave a fuck. She's human, he's human. Like, so if she likes something or he likes something, and she don't care about the staff supporting her like that, of course that's
It's a mental thing, I'll be real. I can sit here and be like, yeah, they might. Innit, baby, tell them. As much as I can sit there and be like, they might think I'm strong or they might think I'm stupid or whatever, it was I was having a semi-mental breakdown, do you get it? Because it's not cool. But like I said, I got myself back up, got a couple more jobs, whatever, I kept it going. But in the back of my head, the case was, oh my god, I could be going jail, could be going jail, could be going jail.
So did they have your phone?
Yeah, they took my phone.
And in your phone was there messages and phone calls?
I had 3 phones. Yeah, I had 3 phones, so I had two dashaway phones.
Yeah.
I don't really know about
Trap phones.
Trap phones. Yeah, and then my smartphone that I had, and then but nothing was in the dashaway phone. But they're smart. They were linking like when I went on holiday, like the cell sighting.
Oh wow. Yeah.
My case papers were long in it, and then it got to a point now, like I'm going to see the solicitor. And then they're telling me, am I gonna go guilty? Am I gonna go not guilty? But the evidence they had on me, like, it was just too much, innit? Like, it wasn't making sense. She was like, you can, because directly you didn't pass nothing, whatever. Like, you did have your operation. There is proof to say this, that. And eventually it got to a point, I was like, do you know what? I'm getting guilty.
Wow. What did you go guilty to?
I didn't, you know what? I'm not gonna say what child I didn't get, because in case they can slap that on. Yeah. But the child I was meant to get, I didn't get.
Yeah.
But it was intent to supply. I think it was 3 charges actually, you know, looking back. I think it might have been 3 charges. Yeah, 3 charges. Steroids. It wasn't even no phone. Tablets. That's what it was tablets. And then,
so was it intent to supply HMP? That's a whole other charge.
Yeah, it was in a confined something.
I should have put like work in a professional.
I can't even remember what it was, but it was along it was definitely intent to supply. And I was like, do you know what? I went guilty on the last day. I was gonna fight. I was like, you know, I've got no evidence on me, and I'm a very strong character. Like, it's not happening. I said in the end, because you know what? Because of the colour of my skin as well, they're gonna make an example out of me. I'll be real. Like, they're gonna end up throwing a book at me. I was literally thinking, oh my god. Love me, but I go guilty. I prepared myself for jail. I won't even lie to anyone. So when I was getting sentenced, his dad literally got me everything I needed. Yeah. As for those that in jail, they know Giga Juke. I had my Giga Juke. I had my DVD. The hard drive. Yeah, my songs were patterned on my Giga Juke before I even touched that. Like, I had
had everything, like all my clothes. I even had hair straightener, hair dryer. I had everything.
Shout out to him.
I had my Zankos as well. I had a bag. Listen, I had everything.
Zanko, for anyone who doesn't know, is like a little mini phone.
Yeah,
like,
so the day
with no metal in it.
Yeah, so the day I was going. It's got that now.
It's very little metal.
Very
You
little.
can pass a lot of metal texts, but like a boss chain or something like that.
What's chain? You gotta wrap it in it. So anyway, I was going to. I remember the day I was going to thing. I got all my character references. Like I told my work gave me character reference. Like, and I had a good feeling. And you notice the whole time I went to church, I was praying. I got all the trolls. I was thinking they slapped me on tag.
Look at this whole piece of who's that? Oh my days, Nelson Fleet. Shit, check it. God damn it! Oh shit! Nah, man. Ankle bracelet. What?
I got put up on the blogs and everyone.
I swear.
Yeah, everyone was. I can't like everyone was trolling me. So I got one long post. I was like, no one's been in my position. There's guys out there that are snitching. There's guys out there that can't hold their own. No one don't know my story. Unless I open up my mouth, and now people will know my story, innit?
Yeah.
But I had a lot of people saying, oh, this, that, and it was never that. And it got to a point. Imagine, I know, babe. Imagine the whole of Insta literally getting at you. Oh, you're just a girl. Look at you down. You're on tag. And you think it's nice to be on tag. No one did say it was nice to be on tag. Do you get it? Because it's not nice.
These were like DMs you were getting those things.
Yeah, no, it is. I can't lie. Over that one post, I got about 500 follow requests. Like literally, everyone wanted to know. But then they got to the point like, oh, she's pretty. She's on tag. Or oh, she's from South London. I said, you must be from South London, kind of thing. And I got bare. No, why does guys always think everyone? Listen, that's all criminal activity. Like I got everything. And at the time, remember, it's a mental thing as well. Like I was dealing with. I was thinking, imagine if the court see this and they think that I'm dancing on tag. I wasn't dancing on tag. I was literally. My bedroom was recording me, like, right, your hair done, your nails done, then he slapped the tag and then the person cut the video. When they cut the video, I was like, oh, come on, man, you can't be putting that up. But on the blogs, it looks like I'm laughing that I'm on tag. But you know when you just gotta own it, you gotta charge it to the game, innit? And then, yeah, it got out there, whatever happened, and people had their own opinion. Oh yeah, she was crying on the landing when she got taken off. And I heard everything. Yeah, she was doing this, she was doing that in the cell, she was doing that. I heard every story under the sun. That's what made me realise that it doesn't matter. It is what it is.
That's what I said. Until I left the jail, that's when all the stories came, and I'm just like,
it is what it is.
I don't even care. I'm not even there.
I'm not even there no more. Anyway, Carlos story short, I went, got sentenced. I didn't go to jail. So I was happy with that one. All I got was, because obviously my mental health said I was drinking and whatnot. They gave me an alcohol counselling course. I didn't even have to do community service. Didn't have to do no fine. Listen.
You really patterned up. You went the whole alcohol.
I'll be real, I did turn down to that stage of I need a drink. Because I didn't have no one to talk to, like I didn't know what was going on. Like that was my only way out.
So this after the situation?
This was after the situation.
Yeah,
so that was my only way out. So I did go down that route and whatnot. And I was like, do you know what? I'll be real. And the only thing that saved me, I can't lie, I sent an email to the prison saying, bruh, I need to talk to you lot about a sensitive topic, innit? I think twice or 3 times. They didn't even get back to me.
Before this?
Before the whole incident happened, I sent an email to say, bro, like, I need to talk to you lot about a sensitive topic. They were just brushing it, like, yeah, when we're free, or yeah, when this and...
Yeah, so they don't know what you're going to tell them. You could have been about to tell them this is what I've been engaging in. You could be saying I'm
I didn't
depressed.
get no support from the staff there of enough of what I was going through. So then obviously the court heard that, and they were like, do you know what? We're going to give you a suspended sentence. So I got a suspended sentence.
How long was your suspended sentence for?
It was only 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah, it was literally went right back into work that I was doing anyway, picked myself up. I took that as a lesson to say, do you know what, B, like, things happen, people do make mistakes. Like, I stayed down for a bit, you bounced back, kind of thing, and in the end of it, I got what everyone thought was going to happen, didn't happen, and I got my blessing. So, it's a win-win situation for me.
So when you were like, I'm like quite intrigued by the whole process of it. So when you all kicked off, and they grabbed your phone, they're on your car, I'm assuming he got spoken to, they'll be raiding his cell every 2 days.
Yeah.
Did you manage to stay in contact?
Yeah, we did actually. Not straight away, but he got a message to me. He was like, bro, like just told them it was me kind of thing. It's like if it helps you, and I was like, why would I do that kind of thing? Why would I do that kind of thing?
So you're a real one.
We will literally go back, well, because you know what, you're already doing time. If you get any more time, one is long. Like this is my first ever offence anyway. I was like, well, it is what it is. Like he did offer to take the rap and whatever. I was like, no.
Yeah. And then, so eventually, he was released.
Yeah, and eventually he was released. I think after my case, when my case done, I think it was like a year and a bit still had time. Still had a bit of time to come out. I think he went to another 2 jails after that.
Yeah.
So we still had time in there.
Did you visit him in that time?
In that time, no, I think I tried once. They refused it. I knew it was about, and that's how they could link him in. And once my case done, then once my case finished, I think I didn't see him for like a whole year, if I'm honest, and then I got to see him.
Okay. And then he was released. Did you immediately develop something? The relationship didn't break down at any point during that period?
No, as soon as he came home, we started living together. Like, we was in a full-on relationship, like come home, had a little one, yeah.
Okay, hear this, taste my creme. TMC for sure. I'm not gonna say too much about it because this is strictly for the over 18s. But what I can say to you is Taste My Creme is the adult post-nudity social network. This is the network where you can post anything you want. This is the network you can say anything you want. You can be yourself, you can be unrestricted. Think OnlyFans meet Instagram. People are selling content, selling customized content. They are communicating, interacting, they're being themselves. Listen, go over, check it out if you're over 18, message someone you like, get to know people, post, be yourself. It's all happening. As I said, I won't say too much, but again, this is a platform that is really, really starting to do bits and making some great features for people. TMC, Taste My Creme, check it out on the ASAP.